Hello, my name is Tony Beers, and this is Movie Grades.
And just like the movies, we play out our last scene.
Okay, hello everybody, Tony Bears here again, and we're doing another different way we're doing these movie grades. We haven't come up with a name yet. I was thinking three-way review.
Tony's cul-de-sac.
Tony's cul-de-sac. Gangbang review. Or so, I don't know
Well,
what.
Robin always likes the word gangbang, so. Woo-hoo.
So something like this, review with three people here, review threesome or something. Anyway, so and I introduced my friend Jason, and we got Robin here again.
As always, RK Stud.
As always, the RK Stud. And in this episode of Movie Grades, or whatever we're going to call this, of course, we saw Man of Steel, new Superman movie.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. And we're going to discuss it here. Well, okay, well, I'll give the plot first. This is basically a retelling of Superman's origin. This time, Zod's the villain, and he wants to destroy Earth to create a new Krypton. We're going to break this down into sections, and we'll first talk about the acting. Okay, Jason, what did you think about the acting?
I thought Henry Cavill did a good job as Superman Clark Kent. I thought he did a real good job in the role. Like Amy Adams, I think. She did a pretty good job for what they gave her. Zod, I don't know who the guy who played him, but he did a great job. You could feel the intensity, and the other actors that were with him in his army, they did their roles good.
Was there any weak links you thought?
Yeah, kind of. Lawrence Fishburne kind of disappointed me a little bit as Perry White. He's such a strong actor, and he didn't really have much to do in this. Why would you cast Lawrence Fishburne and not have him really do anything?
You got a good point, yeah.
Russell Crowe was good. Kevin Costner, great actor. But the scenes they had him do was kind of like a couple of scenes when he's like, Clark's a kid and stuff were good, and then the other scene we talked about on the way here, we'll get into that, but yeah. I kind of was like, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's about it for me as far as acting.
Robin?
Henry Cavill as Clark/Superman did fairly well for me. Amy Adams as Lois was good. Not really great. Certainly is no Margot Kidder.
I knew you was going to say that. But that's hard to compare to,
Right.
Right, and then I felt her role as Lois just wasn't up to par.
None of the actors had energy, and they're well, maybe Zod, because he was really, you could see how he was passionate about his people, but no one had that energy. Everybody was kind of calm and collected, and no one really got too excited. There was a few scenes here and there, but no one was like, "Oh my God, there's aliens!" in on Earth. Everybody was
in Kansas.
In Kansas, everybody was like, "Oh, look at that there! Oh, there's this alien spaceship there." Yeah. No one, they didn't really have. For me, they didn't seem to have that much energy. And comparing, and we've talked about this before we started the video, but comparing it to Avengers had a lot of energy. You were excited every second of that movie.
It was in your face all the time.
And this one, and you were saying earlier too about it had great action, but nobody was. Their energy level was really low. No one was really excited, except for Zod, like I was saying. he was, I will find him, you know.
Yeah.
He said that like 5 times.
That scene was very powerful too. Cause
Yes.
He was talking to Kal-El's mom.
Yeah.
You know, you take your son, blah, blah, blah. I will find it. I mean, that was a great scene.
Yes, I like
that line was perfect, and the guy delivered it like right on, like awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like I said, I enjoyed him as Zod. I think he did a great job.
Now let's move on to what we were kind of just talking about. Anyway, the action. What do you guys think of the action? Let's start with Jason here.
The fights were Superman-esque. Definitely spot on. They did a great job on that. You know, he's fighting through buildings. That happened in the comics. That happened in other aspects of Superman. They did that excellent. I mean, that part they got absolutely right. As far as some of the other things, could have been a little better. Like all these alien ships everywhere. And then, like, these jets are going to do something against these alien ships. You know, Independence Day, you know.
Yeah. It did have a very Independence Day vibe to it, in certain scenes.
Oh yeah, but I did love the Superman fights. I thought those were spectacular. They did an excellent job on those. I got it. I cannot say any more than that. The fights with Superman were excellent.
Rob?
Totally agree. The fights with him as Superman going through the buildings had the look, had the feel, but to go back to the energy form, I was like, oh, all right. and then there were some times when Superman was fighting the other Kryptonians, and sometimes they were smashing each other through walls or whatever. And for me, sometimes I couldn't tell who was going through what.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That is a good point. That is true.
I was like, wait, Superman just throw her into the... No, she threw him. What? Now who's doing what?
I thought it was excellent too. I thought that's the highlight of this movie. That's where it shines, is the action. But we keep going back to the Avengers. Back to the Avengers. The action felt more upbeat in the Avengers. Like, you were excited. And here, you were excited at certain points, and it looked cool at certain points, but again, the energy for me. I mean, I'm a very visual person. I don't know about you guys.
I am too.
But
yeah.
When you have drab colors, it brings the mood down for me in the movie. I mean, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, if Superman had a bright red and yellow symbol, and you know the cape was real bright, man, you seen him just it would have kept me like, man, I could see him visually just pounding somebody. And that, like you said, it was very like, okay, boom, and then you see buildings falling, and then both of them are in different directions. It's like, okay, you know, I mean, like I said, they were great action sequences, but I got to go along with you and him exactly on that. I didn't, like I said, I didn't even think about that at the time. But it was just hard to follow sometimes. It was. I did get lost a little bit on a few of them.
Okay, now let's go on to special effects. We'll start with Jason again.
I thought the special effects were really good. I mean, when he was flying and learning how to, like, basically learning how to fly. I loved the heat vision, the way they did it. When he was a kid and everything was happening to him, that was very cool. How he could, like, when he was looking through his teacher and the X-ray vision, he didn't know what was going on. That was all really good. I did like all that. I mean, it didn't look like there was wires or anything like that. They did a good job cleaning that up or whatever, and I liked the special effects, and I thought they were really good.
The visual effects that really popped out to me was Krypton. The way that they built and designed Krypton for the movie was really genius of them.
Yeah.
It just felt like, well, this world actually was. That for me was so awesome.
I'm glad you brought up Krypton, because I really like the way they did Krypton on here. I mean, no offense to the original Richard Donner films, because those were great too, but this was a different take.
Yeah.
We saw creatures on Krypton. He had like some kind of dragon and stuff like
Flying
this.
dragon.
And stuff like that really looked really cool, and I like that they changed that, and where originally Krypton was kind of like this sterile place with all these crystals and stuff like that, which is not, again, no offense to Richard Donner, which is not bad, but I like this better. You could see that it felt like a real full world. Like, you know, we saw, like I said, different creatures, and we could see, you know, there was a war going on or something, and
a coup d'etat.
Yes, and so it felt more real and more organic, whereas the original Krypton was kind of more sterile and synthetic.
It was like an ice kind of like an ice-looking world too.
Yeah.
And
Nice with
to go
crystals.
with your point on that, they were showing Krypton, I was kind of like, I was still a little bit stuck in the Richard Donner thing. I was like, hey, where's all the crystals at? And I mean, I thought that at first, but then when everything started happening, I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool. You know, it kind of grew on me after a few minutes.